Okay guys, so I'm gonna be meal prepping a casserole for the week for Greg and myself. Now I got the recipe idea from another YouTuber. Her name is Jen. I believe it's Jen's Weight Watchers Journey. I always can never remember like the exact name of her channel, but I'll put it here on the screen. I'll also put a link down below. Check her out if you're on Weight Watchers, or even if you're not and you're just eating healthy and you want to find really good recipes. She has some really, really good ones. So I had her recipe, and then I saw her recipe, and then I Googled some other ones. So I kind of took a mixture of hers and some other ones that I found on all recipes, and I put it all together. So I'm going to show you. This is an Amish breakfast casserole is what it's called. And this is what I'm going to make. Is it serves 12. And so what you're gonna need is, you can do 1 pound of turkey bacon, but I'm actually gonna be using regular bacon. But again, if you wanna make it even healthier, then use turkey bacon. But because Greg is gonna be eating this too, I'm gonna use just regular bacon. I'm also gonna be using 1 sweet onion, so I have that here. Well, it says a sweet onion. I like the red onion, so I'm sorry. So it says 1 sweet onion, but you can use what you want. I just prefer red onions over a sweet onion. You're also going to need 4 cups of shredded hash browns. And so I got this here. And this is a big enough bag. I believe it's 30 ounces. So this is plenty. You're going to need 4 cups of that. You're also going to need 9 eggs. You're going to need 1.5 cups. It says fat-free cottage cheese, but I just got the 1%. They didn't have any fat-free in this size, and I wasn't gonna buy a big large container of fat-free when I don't like fat-free cottage cheese by itself. So that. The recipe said 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, but we really like this Great Value Fiesta blend. So I'll use 2 cups of the reduced fat Fiesta blend cheese, and then and I believe it said 1.25 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, and I of course get the reduced fat. So the first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and my oven is in the process of preheating. And then you're going to want to take a 9x13 baking dish, and you're going to want to go ahead and grease that. I spray mine with a non-cooking spray. This is an old ugly one, but it works good. So I'm going to be spraying that. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and chop this onion up. And then I'm going to take out my bacon, and you're going to cook your bacon and your onion. You're going to cook your onion and bacon until your bacon's brown, so about 10 minutes. And then you're going to drain it, and then you'll put your onion and your bacon in a bowl to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this up and get these on the stove together. I do not like to have to chop onion or anything really small. It takes forever. What I like to use is my chopper. Now I got this off of Amazon. I absolutely love it. I use it to chop not just onions, but other things as well. You just basically take your onion, you set it here, press it down, and it chops it. And just like that, I have my chopped onion. Now I'm taking this entire pound of bacon, and I'm just gonna take my knife and just kind of cut it a little bit into smaller pieces. So while I'm cooking, it browns it. I should have gotten my other cutting board out of there. And again, you can always take this and you don't have to cut it super small. You can always crumble it once it's cooked more. So I have my skillet here on the stove. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, olive oil. I'm going to add my onions first. putting them on there first just to give them a first kind of head start. You know, onions take a little bit longer to cook than anything else. So I'm gonna add those. Gonna just add the bacon. And I have an electric stove, so I have it set at about a 6. So like a medium high. High, medium, medium high. So now we're gonna just let this cook together until your bacon is brown, so about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so I don't know how well the camera is picking up, but a lot of my bacon is starting to get like a golden brown around the edges of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it all and drain it. Drain all the grease out of the bacon and the eggs, and then I'm gonna set that in a bowl and set it to the side. And then we'll go ahead and go over the egg mixture. So we'll go ahead and get this step finished. Okay, so in this bowl we put our bacon and our onions. Now this is the first time I've ever made it. The recipe said to cook them together. In the future I would just fry my bacon first because I feel like it would get crispier, and then I would do the onions separate. So that's just me. If you don't care about how crispy it is, then you are more than welcome to do it this way. It's still crispy. It just is not as browned as I would like it, but I didn't want to overcook anything. So it's still, I'm sure it's gonna taste delicious, and but that's just a tip going forward that I would do. Okay, so next, it does require 9 lightly beaten eggs. So I'm gonna crack 9 eggs into here and lightly beat them. Recipe does not call for it, but I am gonna just add a little bit of milk, maybe 1/4 of a cup, probably a little less than that. I'm gonna take my whisk and I'm going to lightly beat the eggs. You can also use a fork if you don't want to use a whisk. Sometimes I use a fork instead. So it does say lightly beaten. You're not trying to beat them like you would if you scrambled them. Mostly you just want to make sure you've broken most of the yolk. Does that make sense? You can still see it? Okay. So in our bowl with our bacon and our onion, we're going to pour in our 9 lightly beaten eggs. I do see this yolk is a little more together than I would want, so you can always stick your whisk in there and kind of mess it up a little. Next, we're going to put in our 4 cups of shredded potatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 2 cups of this Fiesta blend cheese.
So there's 1 cup, 2 cups.
We're going to do 1 1/4 cup of the mozzarella cheese.
So there's 1 cup of that, and there's my 1/4 of a cup.
So 1 1/4 of the mozzarella cheese. Next, we're going to do 1 1/2 cups of our cottage cheese. So there's 1 cup of that. And this actually is all of it. We're going to use the whole 16-ounce container, actually. I'm just going to use it all. It's about 1 1/2. Might be a little more, but that's okay. Now I'm going to get a spoon. We're going to stir all of this together.
We're getting it all stirred together. That's all of our potatoes, all 3 of our cheeses, our bacon. And remember this too, the bacon's gonna cook more while it's in there. But you got your eggs, everything you need is right here in here. It's gonna be so delicious, I'm sure. I mean, there's not one thing in here that isn't delicious. Sorry if it's not in the best focus. Trying to figure out the best way to start filming these cooking videos. I know a lot of you guys want to see them, and I want to share them with you. So I'm going to film this one way, I'm going to film another video another. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so once it's all mixed together,
I'm going to take a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm just going to add that in. So just some salt, just to taste. So you decide how much you want to put in. can always salt and pepper it more when it's done. Another quick stir, mixing it all together. Everything is nice and blended. Make sure you scrape the bottom to get those onions and bacon all distributed evenly. Set this to the, remove this over, and we're gonna get our 9x13. If you haven't greased it or sprayed it yet, make sure you do that. I'm gonna be using this coconut cooking spray, and I'm just gonna spray around the sides and the bottom. Give it a good coat so it doesn't stick. I normally like to use aluminum throwaway pans so I don't have to do the dishes, but so now we're gonna just dump this mixture from our bowl into our pan. We're just going to spread this out evenly, as evenly as we can. Your oven should have been preheated to 350 degrees, and you're going to stick this in your oven and let it cook until the eggs are set and the cheese is all melty. According to the recipe, it will be 45 to 50 minutes. It doesn't say you don't cover it or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my oven, and I'll go back and check it in about 30 minutes to see where we are. Okay guys, so I took it out of the oven. It sat for about 5 minutes. It took 45 minutes. Everything is set. It is nice. It looks so good. I cannot wait to have this for breakfast for this next week. This will be for Greg and myself, so I'll cut this down. I believe it makes 12 servings, so I will cut this down into 12 servings, and then I'll put it into containers for Greg and I, and we'll have that in the morning. So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me there, and I'll put in my stories when I first have it, and I'll let you guys know how good it is. I cannot wait. It smells amazing, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not. Don't forget to check out Jen's channel. I'll link it down below so you can go over and check her out and let her know that I sent you over. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.